lot about renewable energy sources that sound great, like wind and solar. But what if I told you about a zero-emission renewable energy source that produces double the amount of energy? The answer is all around us. Hydrogen. Hydrogen is everywhere. Let's talk to Bailey Irwin, the scientist, to find out how we get a hold of hydrogen.
You're probably wondering how hydrogen can be a fuel. Well, guess what? I can tell you, in a hydrogen fuel cell, hydrogen is burned. And when that happens, hydrogen reacts with oxygen to form H2O. And we all know what that is. That's right, hydrogen fuel cells produce water as their only waste. That means that they are zero harmful emissions from hydrogen fuel cells. Although pure hydrogen can't be found on Earth naturally, there's a couple things we can do to get that hydrogen to you. Electrolysis is the process by which electricity is moved through water. And when this happens, the two hydrogen molecules and the oxygen molecules are separated, so the hydrogen can be burned. When the hydrogen is burned, guess what happens? It makes more water. So when you get that water, you can do more electrolysis and get more hydrogen. Hydrogen is a 100% renewable fuel. That means you can use it over and over and over again. Unlike many other fuels, hydrogen fuel can be done anywhere on this planet. If you're talking about practical fuels, then this is the one for you, because this is the fuel that you can find anywhere. Hydrogen rules!
Now that we know the science behind hydrogen energy, let's talk sustainability with our environmentalist, Hope Giorgio.
Wow, what a beautiful day. Don't you want to see more of these days? Don't you want your kids to experience these days? Well, as an environmentalist, I'm looking for the best for the environment and for you. As you may know, hydrogen is the simplest and most abundant element in the whole universe. Hydrogen is a great source of energy for a number of reasons. One is that it's readily available to everyone. There's an increasing interest in the role that hydrogen-based energy systems may play in the future, especially in our transportation systems. They appear to be an attractive alternative to current fossil fuel-based energy systems in the future, since these have been proven to affect climate due to greenhouse gas emissions. Hydrogen energy is also very powerful and very efficient. It's powerful enough to propel spaceships and safer than using any other similar product to accomplish such an energy-intensive duty. In fact, hydrogen is 3 times as powerful as gasoline and similar fossil fuels, meaning it takes less to accomplish more. Unlike non-renewable sources of energy, which can be produced again and again as they are limited, hydrogen energy can be produced on demand. As an environmentalist, I am telling you what will be the best decision, and hydrogen is it.
Here we got the history of hydrogen as fuel with Nikki Walker. Let's go!
Do you want to know more about when hydrogen first began? We're going to have to go way back to 1766, when hydrogen was first identified as a distinct element by the British scientist Henry Cavendish, after he separated hydrogen gas by reacting zinc metal with hydrochloric acid. Then in the 1800s, the English scientist Nicholas Wilson and Sir Anthony Carlisle discovered that applying electric current to water produced hydrogen and oxygen gases. This process was later known as electrolysis. Various countries have placed emphasis on both developing fuel cell vehicles and fixed generating devices by hydrogen energy, which will be closer to people's lives. To name a few, Japan is one of the first countries in the world starting studies in hydrogen energy. It focuses on fuel battery now. The United States has paid much attention to hydrogen energy. Starting in 2003, the Bush Association invested $1.7 billion in hydrogen fuel initiative. Hydrogen has emissions, energy security, and efficiency benefits over combustion engines. And while it will require new vehicles and a completely new fueling system, it's promising in the long run. NASA has used liquid hydrogen since 1970 to propel the space shuttle and other rockets into orbit. Hydrogen fuel cells power the shuttle's electrical systems, producing a clean byproduct, pure water.
Hydrogen rules!
Now that we know hydrogen can fuel the lives we strive for, let's find out why it's worth the investment with Hadil Saab.
Many of the current ways we produce electricity, like coal-burning power plants and nuclear energy, require us to turn the energy into heat and then use an engine to turn the heat into electricity. Using hydrogen energy allows you to completely skip the middle step and make electricity directly from the fuel. Right now, we are suffering the consequences of using energy resources that leave huge carbon footprints. We are spending millions and billions to get our environment back to normal. If we switch to hydrogen energy, we won't have a mess to clean up because the only mess that hydrogen energy leaves is water. And that's great. And if we start making cars that run on fuel cells that run on hydrogen, then we'll have a huge industry with lots of jobs created by the companies that start making these cars. Sure, fossil fuels might be cheaper than hydrogen energy right now, but we've barely touched the tip of the iceberg with hydrogen energy. If we start using it and investing in it, prices will have to go down from competition between different companies. When we use fossil fuels, we are not taking into consideration the externality costs that should be factored into what we're paying for, like destroying the environment. Hydrogen won't even have externality costs because there is nothing that is damaging the environment. Think about that. Thank you for joining me today.
Overall, hydrogen is the fuel of the future. All your cars will soon be running on hydrogen for its zero emissions. Thanks for watching. Next time we'll be exploring the ancient aliens of the Palos Verdes Peninsula.
Hydrogen rules!